Hey everybody, Brandon here from cadintentions, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at fields in AutoCAD. I'm going to show you guys what they are as well as a few tricks and uses for them. They're going to save you a lot of time, especially when setting up title blocks or working with any text that may change on a regular basis or can be automated to save time. Fields are going to be a great solution for you. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to use them as well as a few different use cases that I like to use them for. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Let's get going. All right, let's jump right in. So today we're going to be taking a look at fields. A field is a text string or piece of text that pulls the text from something within AutoCAD. That could be anything from an area to a sheet name to a scale. You name it, you can pretty much pull it into a piece of text. So this is going to save you a lot of time for anything that may be changing throughout your design process, things like areas, sheet names, scales, drawing numbers. You can pull from a variety of different sources within AutoCAD. So I'm going to show you how to create them. You can add them to a text object. So in this case, I've got an mText object here. I'm simply going to right click and I'm going to choose insert field. You can also use Control F to insert one. And it's going to bring up the field dialog box on my other screen here. And from here, you can choose the field category that you'd like to pull data from. So you can see here that a lot of these initial options are for sheet sets. So if you're not using sheet sets, you should start, and I've got a whole course on that, which you can check out at cadintentions.com in the courses dropdown. I'll also put that link down below as well. Today we're just going to be looking at some of the other options, including date and time. You can create a plot or date stamp and automate it. So you can choose, say, date, then you can choose the format, and it's simply going to insert this and update it every time you open your drawing or refresh or regen your drawing. It's going to update your fields. So this is a great way to automate your title blocks, and I'll show you that in a later step. That's one of my favorite ways of using fields. Besides date and time, you've also got the option of document categories. And this one can be helpful if you're looking to put a plot stamp, say pulling the file name and location, or the author, which would be your name, as well as the comments from the drawing, save by, subject, title. All these things can be helpful to fill out your title block or stamps around your block. Next, you've also got links. So you can paste or select a link that you would like to insert. Again, this could be helpful for references so you don't lose things, as well as just keeping a running list of where all of your XREFs are coming from. Moving to the next category here is objects. And this one I think may be one of the least used, but it's probably one of the most helpful when it comes to automating text. So within the objects category, you can choose between block placeholders, formulas, which you can create in here, named objects, which can vary from blocks to layers, textiles, you name it. You can pull these and add them to text. So this could be helpful for takeoffs, say, of blocks. You can pull the names directly within the text field or table. And then objects, which is one that I like using. And I'm going to show you an example of that right now. So we're going to cancel out of this example text over here. So I've got a hatch here for each room. We're going to choose this bedroom up here. So we're going to double click within the layer and we're going to delete the floor type here. So we're going to insert a field here under the room name, and we're going to add the area of this room. So to do that, we can use the Control F or simply right click and choose Insert Field. It's going to bring up our field dialog box here. From there, we can select objects from the category and then object again under the field name. From there, simply choose the Select Object button on the middle right here. And we're going to choose, I've got a border drawn around my area, and you can see the polyline was selected. And from here, we've got a variety of properties that we can pull numbers from. So we're going to pull the area from this, and we're going to choose our precision, which you can choose from the drop down here. Maybe we're just gonna round it up, and then we can hit OK if that's what you'd like. You can also hit additional format, which is gonna let you change your conversion factors, add prefix and suffix. And then the last option there you've got is whether you want to suppress zeros before or after your number. You can see up here it's giving us the current value, which would be in square inches since this drawing is in inches. If you'd like to convert that, you can change up your conversion factor here. The conversion factor for square inch to square foot I've got here, and then I can add a suffix if I want to show square foot. So I can just do square feet and then hit OK. So now I've converted my area to square feet from square inches, as well as added the suffix here so it automatically places it for me. I can hit OK and then hit OK, and it's going to place our field into our text object here. So now if, say, the room size changes, maybe it gets a little bit smaller here. So maybe we just shrink our polyline or polygon here down, and then we hit regen. This is going to be tied to that polygon. So you can see it's now changed to 130 square feet instead of the 160. Maybe our area changes again and it goes back up to where it was, which was about here. And then we hit regen again, or if you save your drawing, type regen. And you can see it's gone back to 160 square feet. So that's one of the quick ways you can use fields. Another great way to utilize fields is in your title block. So we're going to just create a new template here. I'm going to use my cadintentions ones, which you can get on the website. I'll put the link down below. I'm going to choose an 8.5 by 11 landscape. We're just going to open that up. So down here, you can automate a variety of your fields. So say I want to automate my date. We've already kind of gone over that. Simply double click in your text. You can right click to replace text if it's selected and choose insert field. For this one, we're going to go date and time, and we're just going to automate our date field so that it always shows up to date. So we're going to choose this one here. It's pretty similar to what we've got below. And we're just going to hit OK and hit OK. So now you can see it's automatically inserted our date for us. And now every time you open up the drawing and save it or regen in it, it's going to update the date to the current day. This can be a huge time saver, and it's going to prevent you from forgetting or missing things that are constantly changing and updating within your drawing. All right, so the third typical use or helpful kind of trick for fields is setting your drawing number or drawing title to match the number or name on your tab. This can also be accomplished through using a field. So I'm just going to change out my drawing title, and I'll do this for my drawing number a lot as well. It depends what you want to name your tabs and how you name your drawing. So say this is your drawing number or your drawing title, and you want it to match your tabs for clarity in the drawing, as well as so you can quickly edit and change them on the fly. I'm just going to select the text here, right click and go insert field. And from here, you can go to the category of other and choose a system variable. So this is where you can pull a lot of different fields and data from your drawing. In our case, we're looking for the C tab, and that would pull the tab name. You can also set this so that it's always uppercase to keep your titles consistent. And then from there, we simply hit OK. So that's going to automatically change the title or say a drawing number to match your tab name. So in this case, I could call it site plan. And you can notice on the bottom that I'm not using capitals. I'm being sloppy, or I forgot. It's going to update that automatically to uppercase in here when I type in regen or save for my drawing. So this is another great way to automate and speed up drawing and sheet production. If you start automating things like your initials, the date, the drawing title, drawing numbers, all of a sudden it becomes a 30-second task to set up an entire drawing sheet instead of 5 minutes or 10 minutes of clicking around and adding text. And then when you're finished automating all of these by adding fields, simply saving out your title blocks or layouts into a DWT that you can replicate and reuse for every drawing is going to save you a ton of time. Lastly here, we're going to create a plot stamp so that you don't forget where your drawing is or lose it. We're going to do that. I'm going to make a new layout here. I'm going to grab one of my templates again. I'm going to grab this 11 by 17. All right, so on our blank layout title block here, I'm going to create a piece of text in the bottom left here. I've got just an example M text down here, and we're going to insert multiple fields to create a kind of text string that's going to be our plot stamp to prevent us from losing the location of a drawing. Say this drawing gets printed out and you've got a paper or PDF copy and you want to track down where the original drawing file is. A plot stamp is a great way to do that. It's also going to allow you to track things like the last date it was printed or saved, or who was the last person to save or print it. So we're going to right click inside of our text here, insert a field as before, and then we're going to go down to document here, and we're going to choose file name, and we're going to change that to path and file name. And we're also going to choose to display the file extension just for additional information. So we're going to add that field, and you can see it's got the path where my example drawing is saved. So you can add text to this piece of M text as well. So we're going to put file path, and then we have our file path field after that, which is automatically updated. We're going to say plot date as the next field. We're going to right click and insert a field, and then we're going to go plot, and from here you've got a bunch of different options. We're going to choose plot date, and again you can choose the date format that suits you best. We'll just use the same one for now. And then you can also choose something like saved by, and this is going to add the username of whoever last saved it. So you can go to document last saved by, and then change that to uppercase if you'd like it to display in uppercase. My username on this computer is simply admin, and this hasn't been plotted, but when you do plot this to PDF, it's going to update your plot date. It's going to give you your saved by name as well as the path. This is a great way to keep track of your drawings, as well as give a bit of a paper trail to see who you can talk to if you need edits made, where you can find the file, and how old this PDF actually is. So there you go. Those are some of my favorite uses and a quick rundown of fields. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video and you want to learn a bunch more productivity tricks, tips, and workflows, be sure to check out my productivity webinar and course. I'll put a link up above and one down below to help you guys out. There's a 25% discount right now for all my subscribers and viewers. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like the video. Thanks for watching and have a good one. Cheers. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to check out my last video right here. And don't forget to subscribe up here to make sure you're up to date and you see all my new videos. Thanks again. Cheers.